But normally they either remove the affected organs with a full hysterectomy, and then hopefully it doesn't spread to the bladder, because then it is called bladder cancer. So there are some signs and symptoms, but they're mainly late signs and symptoms, and it can be a little difficult to determine them because there are some of the symptoms overlap with the woman's menstrual cycle. The main ones that are kind of outliers are the leg pain, pelvic pain, rapid weight loss, and then the bleeding after menopause. So if somebody comes in and they say that they've been through menopause and now all of a sudden they're having really random bleeding or very smelly vaginal discharge out of nowhere, that's a sign to go ahead and get a test done. They do recommend everyone after 30 to go ahead and get this done every 3 to 5 years. If you just do the HPV test, it's every 5 years. Just the PAP is every 3, or you can combine them and do both at the same time every 5 years. That's what the CDC recommends. And then some prevention and risk factors. So things that make you more likely to get this is the human papillomavirus. And then you have smoking tobacco, increased sexual partners, so multiple at a time, and then not using protection. Oral contraceptives don't really help with this because you need a physical barrier, because it's a virus that spreads through bodily fluids. Now, since the human papillomavirus is what causes majority cases of cervical cancer, they recommend everyone at the age of 11 to get the HPV vaccine. It is kind of controversial for a lot of parents because they don't believe that an 11-year-old could be sexually active, but it is better to start before because you don't want them to already have the risk of contracting the virus. There are two main types of cervical cancer. There's squamous cell carcinoma, and then there is adenocarcinoma. And sometimes it can come from different parts of the body, metaplasia and dysplasia. But most of the time, it's just within the reproductive tract. They normally do a test and it normally comes from there. There are cases where it's not caused by the HPV virus, but it's really low. With the measures that the CDC and the WHO has taken, it has decreased the incidence by 70% and decreased the immortality rate of this condition. There's some statistics on here to look at. Teal and white are your awareness colors for cervical cancer, and then I'm going to post the NCLEX question. This is pretty near and dear to my heart. My mom had to have a full hysterectomy at the age of 24 because she had precancerous cells, and she had to start at the age of 12, but she did not have the HPV, so that was kind of an outlier. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, just let me know, and hope you enjoyed the presentation.